to the event window kicking off, and Courtney out there really throwing herself over the ledge, tucking into some deep barrels. Lakey Peterson, she continues to grow in conditions like this, banking some solid results here after a shaky first effort in Fiji. Well, stop 5 marks the halfway point on the Women's Championship Tour schedule. An exciting race unfolding, 2 surfers sharing the ratings lead. And competitors like Lakey Peterson, who's up at the moment, trying to get themselves into the title conversation. And Lakey, a couple of swift backhand blows there to get this ride started. The first wave of the event for 2017. And it will be a reasonable start for the Californian.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is our first look at the lineup this morning, and just seeing the conditions. The girls are going to have to adjust. We always talk about cloud break in the mornings, having that bit of morning sickness. I think it'll start to really even out and find a bit more of a curve later on as the morning progresses. Let's just have a look. You know, Lakey, these are the kinds of conditions that she'd be used to coming from California. It's not life-threatening cloud break, but still manages to stay really critical. I like the way that she was able to maneuver that board up into the lip and brings it around. It's a good start for Lakey.
Just a 4.5 for Peterson. But evergreen, she looks really fit, very focused on getting herself a big result here. She knows she's under pressure. As we see Courtney kick things off with a big backhand blast and then grabs that rail, goes over the falls though. You can see that little wonk in the waves. Maybe a bit of morning sickness out there at the moment.
Yeah, an interesting, you know, strategist saying that the ladies pushing right up the point there, Lakey and Courtney. It does have that defining section to it where it can close out, and you've got to get that one that just runs and gives you the opportunity.
So 31 minutes remaining here. Let's have a look at this first turn from Courtney. Not much else down the line, but a really committed first turn effort.
Yeah, all power from Courtney Conlogue. You can see those ribs coming up the face at the moment. So a lot to contend with, a bit of wind, and then just trying to maneuver through that section, grabbing the rail to find the barrel, but in all honesty, I think she would have wanted to pull right through the back. Keep it safe.
3.67 for Conlogue as we see Lakey Peterson up once again, racing down the line. And she opts to kick out. So plenty of time left for these competitors, just over 30 minutes remaining. As the Brazilian looks to bank a score, grabs that rail. All style as she generates some speed down the line. Let's go of a little backhand carve there. She will commit to this inside section, places her board up over the closeout, gets the completion, and she'll get a decent number on the board. Yeah,
great surfing from Silvana. Way to open up. Just seems to be keeping to herself down on that inside section.
There's a level of commitment, a decision that you have to make halfway through that ride to get to that last section of the wave. It does go shallow there on the inside.
Oh, it always is. I mean, the reef out here is definitely one of the variables that you want to keep your eye on. And Silvana Lima, this backhand style of hers is just really silky smooth. I like the way she's able to hold her rail even through those ribs on the face, and then that last move on the inside. Pretty money.
Lakey up once again. Already has a 4.5 from her first ride. And was a good chance there of doing better than the 4.5, but incomplete on that last move. And she knows that that is a lost opportunity to seize a pretty strong lead in the early stages here.
It's always interesting to watch the first heat in the water. You can see, you know, you're almost the guinea pigs in a way. You're the first out in the lineup, first to test the conditions and the judging criteria and the scale for the day. And I think these girls just trying to figure it out. I think Mike's going to give Lakey a bit of a rundown and tell her to maybe slow it down a bit.
Take some time to get some big breaths in and slow things down on this wave, which is running very fast across the inside at the moment. Strong effort there from Courtney to stick that float after a wobbly start to the ride.
Let's get another look. Courtney Conlogue, that deep bottom turn. Love the way she was able to link these maneuvers. Just holds on by the skin of her chin. You can see her repositioning that back foot, and then that death floater was just so well maintained for Courtney Conlogue.
Live action. Silvana's up once again, the 32-year-old. Hooks into the pocket on that first move. finding some good flow here, but goes down on the second maneuver. What a shame. It just seemed like Silvana at that point had a way with good pace, and she was able to get a little bit more of a vertical approach happening between turns, but a real lost opportunity there, falling. Maybe a lack of concentration just riding out of that second maneuver.
Yeah, it almost seems like, you know, you're always looking further ahead on the section. Let's have a look what Lakey does.
A solid hit there from Lakey. As she looks to compose herself after a fall on her last ride. She does well to hang on to that one. Sketchy little end sections out there at the moment.
Yeah, Lakey's doing well to maneuver around the swells here. It seems like they're converging on that reef with quite a bit of power. Still has a lot of punch at this size.
Here we go, Silvana Lima grabbing the rail, pulling in, but wearing that lip on the head. The wave really didn't open up enough for Silvana to find some room inside to move. And Courtney's got a bigger set wave here, and she digs into this first section. And now tucks into the barrel, but she'll get slapped off her board with just over 25.5 minutes remaining. You can tell it's tricky out there at the moment.
I was about to say that. I mean, it really does seem pretty tough. I mean, all three of these ladies have had their moments, but it seems Courtney, like we said, on a bigger wave overhead out there. That first turn, lots of power, tries to go for the no hand grab the wall, but she gets shut down.
In that situation, maybe just grabbing that rail and
just holding on. I mean, there's so much bump up the face, but that's one thing that Courtney has really worked on, her technique and her barrel riding on her backhand.
Always dangerous and capable of stringing together a couple of huge results. So keep an eye on her in this event. Numbers coming through for Lakey Peterson, looking pretty solid on that last effort, a 6.67. So maybe that little conversation with her coach Mike Parsons between waves is paying off, and she's up again. It's just really choosing her maneuvers carefully now after a couple of falls early on.
Even the dismount was impressive.
An amazing start to the year for Lakey Peterson. Rosie, you were watching on from home. What did you make of her performance, and what growth did you see in her surfing?
I think the Goldie for Lakey was just, you know, such a breakout event for her. We didn't see her last year at that event due to that broken ankle, but seeing her compete this year was just such an eye-opening experience, just dropping nines and really doing well.
And getting her first 10-point ride as well in that contest. But here we go, Courtney fighting her way back in this heat. Still has room to move down the line. So that is a better effort for Conlogue as Silvana looks to keep on track with her rivals here, but she catches a rail off the bottom.
Girls are hungry for the barrel this morning.
It's always dangerous out here because, you know, it is a great barreling wave, but in these windier conditions you get a lot of clamping, and sometimes be the wrong option. As Lakey drills a couple of decent sections on this wave, but it fades away on her. Has a 6.67 and a 5.73 as her scoring rides at the moment. Not sure that one's going to factor into the top two. Well, Courtney on the back of the ski there, just under 22 minutes to go, and it feels like, even since we kicked off the competition, Strider, the energy is increasing out there in the lineup. And a good size set wave rolling in for Courtney too, an 8.33 for that last ride. And we'll be checking in with Strider throughout the day, getting his take. He's got that fantastic seat out there in the channel, but a very committed effort here from Courtney.
Well, Courtney, you can see her throwing some, looking for that variety by grabbing a rail, but those first two opening maneuvers were just all power. I think the judges just love to see that commitment on the rail. You can see that deep bottom turn that she harnesses to and just throws a lot of spray out the back. Just right in front of her competitor Lakey, pretending like she's not even looking. You can see her hunting down that barrel. Just finishes it up with another carved slash. through that turquoise wall.
But Courtney looking good at the moment. An 8.33 on her last wave. Out in front, Lakey Peterson chasing a 6.67, and on a smaller wave, looking for that number. She's going to have to take this thing apart to get that score. And she's surfing very well at the moment, stringing her moves together. As she goes down there on the end of that ride. Interesting decision to take that wave. It was considerably smaller than Courtney's scoring ride.
Yeah, that was interesting. I think it might be a positioning thing for Lakey. Just trying to get back down that point. You mentioned those different sections on the reef. Let's have another look. I mean, this is a way smaller wave. Her surfing ability is all there, but just that wave choice. This is holding her back from a bigger score, the score that she requires to take that first place. And there with the rail dig, that's been a tricky inside section to maneuver around this morning. That wave in a free surf, super fun. In a heat situation, it's just not going to be what she's looking for.
Needs a little bit more room to throw her equipment into some bigger turns.
Newcomers on tour that were just tearing down doors. Keala Kennelly, you always, envision her as a big wave surfer, so a place that she would thrive. And Melanie Redmond-Carr, I mean, all just surfers with such great style when it gets a bit bigger.
Megan Abubo had a victory here in 2001 as well. But it's good because there wasn't many big, challenging left-handers on the schedule prior to the return of Cloudbreak. The women's schedule, Rosie, you look at the results that her title rivals are already chasing, and that 13th and 9th, she has to count them already as throwaway results. As we go to live action, Courtney up on another good-sized set wave. Just rolling down the line, waiting for this section to slow up a little bit, throws everything at it, and just drops out of the lip.
I think I could hear a yell from here. I mean, that was just, that wave did not want to be ridden, just bucked her off.
She's okay. She'll head back out there. But yeah, it's amazing what the world's best on the Women's Championship Tour will consider throwaway results.
It's just, there's no room for those 13ths and those 9ths. Let's just have a look at what went wrong here for Courtney Conlogue. Just riding hard on that wave, waiting to unleash, and it just unleashes on her. You do hear that little bit of audible noise coming out of Courtney, but there's no room for the 13th or the 9th. Looks like she's checking out her elbow, may have hit the reef.
Absolutely, one of the best places in the world. So back to you guys. Looks like a full day ahead of us.
Thank you, Barton. As we see Courtney swinging once again on the inside, whipping that board through the first turn, throwing plenty of water. Hangs on to the second move as well, just tries to duck out of there before that shallow inside section. And Lakey Peterson now just weaving her board up and down the face of that wave, trying to get herself out in front of it, but she gets caught behind. Courtney just checking for lost skin on her feet to the end section if you're going to get the big numbers and get yourself those heat victories.
I mean, so well said. And Courtney Conlogue is someone that doesn't mind that sacrifice. You can just see her intent on this wave, just to rip it to shreds. See how shallow it gets on the inside there, gets sucked over. There's no doubt that you'd just be doing that little ping off the reef with your feet. Fear aside, and changing it into a challenge for herself. And some other things that we've seen, can't forget about Sally Fitzgibbons rupturing her eardrum, going on to win this event.
Lakey Peterson up at the moment, driving into that first section. A really strong first turn, and the second turn may be better. And she kicks out on the inside. She needs a 7.3. It's a decent number, but two high-quality maneuvers comboed up. It's going to be close.
Definitely. Lakey can see her head down, just giving the little pep talk.
This is what lurks beneath out there at Cloudbreak. Not what you'd call just a flat shelf. It's alive.
Have you lost any skin out there, Ronnie?
Plenty.
Yeah.
And that was when I was snorkeling. So, certainly in danger of losing some bark during a surfing session.
Sharp. Yeah, definitely got a couple tattoos from this place in the years past.
4.5 minutes. I think Malia Manuel's touch up on the reef at restaurants last year was one of the worst I've seen. And we're going to miss Malia this year. one of the best performers here in Fiji.
Definitely, but see Lakey, that bit of frustration as she just kicks out. But these two maneuvers opening up so strong on this wave.
I think it was Psych. She actually got the number she needed to get into the lead, a 7.4. So some real credit for that combination of two solid turns, as we see Silvana still fighting as well. Needs a huge score though, a 9.4. Board just looks like it's catching a little rail up near her front foot.
It's been a little tricky for Silvana to just decipher this wave. I want to see her just relax. She just got to exhale. I mean, her surfing ability is there. It's just almost letting go, letting that confidence kick in again.
It is how she competes. She's really frantic, catches a lot of waves typically. As we see Courtney trying to fight her way back in the lead. Needs a 5.74.
Ooh, dangerous.
And she's trying to hang on to this one. Lost the fins there for a moment, but regathers and not done. Bashes away on the inside. Courtney just taking these waves right through to the inside. And Lakey aware that she might be chasing a number again now. A good battle unfolding here between these two Californians. And what will Lakey's play be here? Will she try and get priority back ahead of Courtney? Looks like she will, but waiting on the numbers to roll through, we could see a situation change with just under 3 minutes to go. It's a little out of reach for Silvana at this stage, but a really solid heat between Courtney and Lakey.
That was such an interesting exchange. You could see the intent on Courtney's face when she attacked that wave, but Lakey right behind her. I mean, the maneuvers that Lakey was able to fit in on that wave, Courtney Conlogue does not shy away from a good paddle battle. How's that one at Bells Beach, Ronnie, with Carissa Moore?
Oh, that was amazing.
Here you go, Lakey Peterson just took the lead from Courtney Conlogue, looking to back up that score. Just unleashes a couple maneuvers. You can see that foam that she just fights through, that floating maneuver, a lot of variety right in front of Courtney Conlogue. Just able to keep her rail on top of the water, but Courtney Conlogue needing the score, takes off on this wave and rips into it. That first maneuver throwing a lot of spray, that under the lip hook, showing variety, almost loses the fins there. And just one last move on the dry reef. Hungry for that score to get her back in the lead.
That last move was maybe crucial. 5.83 was the score, and enough to see Courtney back out in front. Still waiting on numbers for Lakey Peterson though, who's caught a lot of waves and did well to just juice something out of that last section, which wasn't really providing much. And here we go, 1 minute remaining as Lakey gets her opportunity. Caught a little deep there, and she'll jump off.
Yeah, Lakey's just looking for that opportunity.
Silvana Lima chasing a near perfect score. Drives up into this first section. A really solid turn there. Her best move of the heat. Bit of downtime between moves. And she's going to stick the float on the inside. Almost.
Yeah, Silvana's really looking to fight her way back in this heat. Man, it's just hasn't gone her way in this exchange. Lakey and Courtney have really just opened up this heat and been fighting this whole time.
We did see Lakey get caught behind on her last ride. It's not going to be enough to see her into the lead, of course. She was left chasing a 6.77. Time is winding down, and this heat is coming to a close. The hooter has sounded, and Courtney again shows us her ability under pressure to pull out the big numbers when it counts. But some positive signs for Lakey Peterson too, Rosie. She's going to be hard to stop in round two.
Oh man, if this is a snapshot into what we can look forward to from Lakey, I can't wait to see what she does in round two. Courtney Conlogue just continuing that role, that form she's found.
A solid start to the Outerknown Fiji Women's Pro for Courtney Conlogue. A decent heat score total.